Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto X Silver Sable harem. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by AZ23AJ and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1 New Life. Void. Within the void between many worlds, we see our blonde-haired shinobi hero floating within the void of nothingness and look like his spirit had gone through a war. This was Naruto Uzumaki, the hero of the Fourth Great Ninja War, and was in the void after his battles with Kagaya and later Sasuke. Naruto had no idea what happens or how he was in this nothingness, but sighed and closed his eyes, waiting to go to the afterlife and meet everyone he had lost, but fate or rather something has had other plans. In the last-ditch effort, Kurama and his siblings, the other Biju, used their chakra, boosting in hopes to help Naruto escape this void between dimensions and find a way if they can, or maybe a new world out there for the blonde to be in. Naruto started to open his eyes as he felt a powerful force and saw a powerful light shining onto him, changing his whole scene, and felt he was awakening. Earth 616. Naruto blinked a couple of times, seeing something odd and new to him. And also feeling as well, both on his body and inside his very own being. The blonde noticed that he was in some kind of battle on the streets and in New York, which surprised him on how he knows that, but didn't panic as something told him not to. He was wearing a red and blue spider-themed costume, which the shinobi will admit had a good taste and theme to it. Naruto then saw a sickened old man who was dying from the looks of it and felt a strong pulse to him. Not just him but another one was screaming at the back of his mind that he lost and this golden chance to cheat death, which reminds the blonde of a certain snake. No, another memory came that wasn't Naruto, but someone else that showed a kind man telling him to wake him. Shocking him to the core on the kindness and compassion he felt which connects him to this man and one inside his mind that being absorbed into his memories as own, all three. What has happened to me? Where am I? Naruto thought in questions, but someone had the answers. Look like Otto didn't saw that coming, the old man spoke, but within Naruto's mind, or rather us, as this was Peter and Otto dying body, and Otto had swapped brains between them, but now Naruto pushed the octopus out. You can hear my thoughts? Naruto asked as he walks towards the beaten Peter. Yes, and thank you for pushing Otto out, but I sense that all of three are connected, Peter said before coughing, almost his lung out as blood was shown. Hold on, we can get you some help, Naruto said as he kneed down, but felt a strong wave of memories shaking into him, which made him held his head in pain with his right hand. What is happening to him? No time. I have no more time, but hey, at least I know someone is here to make sure everyone I care about and people are safe, Peter said, feeling his heartbeat slowing down. I can help you, Peter. Hold on, Naruto spoke in a whispered tone of voice and not in his thoughts anymore. Maybe not, but it has come. You, Naruto, I have seen Otto's for sure due to being in his mind, but just now. At this moment, I saw your memories in 1 second and see why you are a good person. Someone I felt happy to watch over everyone when I'm gone, Peter said, his voice becoming more and more husking and sick. I want to help you. And why I feel like I should do something in this life? Naruto asked, feeling a strong sense of justice and responsibility within him. Sure, he had back home, but now was stronger. Because this your life now, Naruto, Peter said as more memories flashed within Naruto's mind. Naruto saw everything which caused him to clench his head more in pain and started to see Peter's life, almost like his own and Otto as well. And even his. All three of them coming together like a movie which surprised the blonde that he knows what a movie to a TV is and everything else. Naruto even saw painful memories that almost made Peter himself want to quiet. Tragedy and loss that shinobi and the webhead shared. Uncle Ben, JJJ's wife, Gwen's father, and Gwen herself. We both understand life and those we care about, but tragedy will come and each time it cuts short. That pain will hurt, but that what makes us strong and push forward. Please stop. No more, I can't, Naruto begged as was on his knees fully and head down as the memories kept flashing. Yes, you can take it. How many things are worth fighting for? But it's impossible. I know, but you can do now and I believed in you, Naruto. Naruto kept seeing more memories and this time that ties to his when he never gives up, no matter how bad it was or hard. He still gets up and fights on. I can feel it. Yes, I see now and understand. What do I must do? Naruto asked as the pain was starting to go away now and he fully understands now. Yes. You see it now. That is who we are, Peter said as he crawled to Naruto with all of his strength. Naruto took it down and held the dying Peter in his arms, much to everyone's surprise, who very far away from the fight but saw everything and couldn't hear what the two were saying. They were surprised that their hero was being there for one of his dying villains. I still don't know if I can do this, Naruto honestly said, jumping into this new life was something beyond him, but felt that he must. You can do it. Just don't give up, Peter said. Tell me who I do know. How could I do this? Naruto asked, changing his question. It's simple. With great power, Peter started. Must come great responsibility. I understand and promise that I will do whatever it takes to get you back home to those you love, Peter. I promise you that and I don't break my promise. That's my way, Naruto finished, understanding, and promised his new friend to give his life back. You will do good, Naruto. I believe in you. You will be better. You're better than me or Otto. You're Spider-Man now, Peter said as the life was leaving him and had no little time now. Naruto felt very bad but promised his new friend to help him find a way back to his life. Even it must take a good while, he promised and won't go back on his word. Spidey. Be careful. A female voice shouted which caused the two to look who shouted and saw it was Mary Jonna Waston or MJ for short off and on girlfriend. MJ. They're all here, let me see them one last time, Peter choked, death was at his door. Of course, here, Naruto said as he gently left Peter's head and allowed him to see those he cares about one last time, give him peace in his final moments. Promise me, you will keep them safe, Peter grunted. I promise. It's what I do and never go back on my promises, Naruto said. That's all I ever wanted, Peter said before felt cold and heartbeat stopped which Naruto felt. Peter? Naruto asked but got nothing and lowered his head down in mourning for a great hero, which he was lucky that his mask hides his tears. Naruto gently laid the dead body back to the ground and thought to himself of this new life he was pushed into. Farewell, Peter Parker, the amazing Spider-Man. I feel like we could be great friends and maybe even brothers. You may be gone from this world, but I promise that I will get you back and into your life. I meant that and what I promised to you personality. I swear that I will be Spider-Man, the hero I feel that I was meant to be. With your memories, Otto's memories to his genius, and what I can do, I vow to become a great hero and Spider, Naruto thought, knowing the path was going to take and will swing through it. I shall become the superior Spider-Man. Chapter 2 Spider and Cat. 2 months later. It has been 2 months since the events of Otto's death and the rebirth of a new hero. We see in an apartment that once belonged to Peter, but now Naruto the current and new Spider-Man. He was working on a few things, mostly his suit and gadgets for his patrol later today, mostly tonight as he was going at it all day on working through his files and setting up his life in this new world. He was really lucky that Otto had a lot of bank accounts over the years and knows the password to them and create his own profile through the government. The blonde covered his tracks and made sure to not be leaked back to him. Yeah, Naruto looks have changed, rather than Peter but his own and different same time. Like hair, eyes, and whisker marks. His body type is the same and age is a little down, thanks to Uzumaki gens on having a longer life, which can be shared with a special someone down the line, but anyway. To avoid confusion and question coming to him, Naruto made a great cover-up for himself as Peter's friend who saved him from the new sinister group and was separated through the whole events leading to Otto Peter's death. He didn't like lying like that, but was for the best and vowed to get Peter back to those he cares about. He sighed as he put down his tools and rubbed his face to relax a bit. He had some ideas to fulfill that promise, but not good outcomes and will need a lot of work. Hey Whiskers, a female voice called out, being Naruto's roommate. Yeah, Michelle? Naruto asked, taking his attention away from his gear. You up for some pizza? She asked. Naruto hummed on that thought and loved to have dinner before going out on patrol. Sure, I can go for some pizza. How many? Naruto asked as he put his gear in a safe place for the time being. 2 pies and no, you not eating at all. I want to save for leftovers, Michael said. It was one time, Naruto said, trying different types of food rather than ramen. Naruto gets up from his workspace and is excited out of his room to see his roommate who made him blush at the sight she was wearing. She was a young woman with a great figure for her age with black hair that passes her shoulders and brown eyes. She wore an orange top and bottom. This was Naruto's roommate, Michelle Gonzalez, who returns to New York to finish law school as a lawyer. If Naruto wasn't blushing or feeling embarrassed, he would have commented on how hot Michelle was. Michelle, what are you wearing? Naruto asked, fighting hard and keep himself in control. The top and bottom, Michelle simply replied. Why are you wearing that? What if someone sees you? Naruto questioned. Nah, I have covers on the windows and lock the doors. Why, would you be jealous if I get someone's attention or lose yourself because of my looks? Michelle teased with a smirk. Maybe, maybe not, but still Michelle, remember the last time, Naruto reminded. Michelle made a face before blushing a bit on that remember and what happened when the pair had a problem and blushing mess in the bathroom that one time. Yeah, I remember that, Michelle said as she plays with her hair and block away that memory but was hard not to and how amazing the blondes felt against hers. Oh, boy. And yeah, Naruto remembers that well as he was the one that walks in the bathroom and falls on Michelle, accented mind you. Yeah, but it accented and I'm glad I fixed those locks, Naruto said as he took a seat at the living room table for dinner. Thank God you did. I never understand how Peter had those smarts and never used them for simple things, Michelle said before joining the blonde with their dinner. Some people are like that, Michelle. Smart but lazy and stubborn, Naruto commented. Yes, that can be the case, Michelle agreed with a giggle. Naruto smirked as he enjoyed his friend's company for dinner before his patrol. He was glad to have a friend and someone to be with during his 2 months in this new life. No, he didn't tell anyone about himself or the truth about Peter. Anything can happen, and yes, the blonde has memories that Peter had with his roommate. Naruto wonders how Peter does not have a girlfriend yet and a few bad histories with a few women over the years, like on or offs, or never works out. Thank Kami, Naruto is not going to be an idiot and maybe have a working relationship. Anything can happen for sure. Time skip. After dinner and heading out, we now see Naruto wearing his new spider suit and added a good number of updates to the suit. He wore a tight suit that was colored back, starting from its legs, remaining black till its chest area, where it turned red with black web-like design, along with a black spider-like emblem on it. Its hands looked to be half black, with its pals being red, and a pair of devices on the wrists. Finally, a mask that could cover the entire head with a pair of spider-like black visors, resembling a pair of spider eyes. The blonde thought some changes can work and like the red and blue color theme, but black works for night patrols and life as a shinobi. Naruto was still trying to get used to his new body, even if 2 months have passed since he came to this world and gained a new body. The new powers, smarts, and memories were no problem, it was something else. His chakra is still trying to work around his new body, but no luck on that, and also no luck talking to Kurama. He's still there, somehow, and was good enough for the blonde. He shook his head and kept on web swing. Man, web swing is great. I can see why Peter enjoyed it so much, Naruto thought as he swung through the city during his patrol around the city and enjoying his new webs. He improved his web shooters to be stronger to not be destroyed easily if some have super strength and webs last long, to also be stronger to capture enemies. Before going on with his patrol, the webhead started to notice a dark figure skipping across the rooftops. Being curious, Naruto swung down towards the figure and was surprised to find it was a woman. A young woman with long pure white hair, green eyes that looked like a pair of gems with cat-like slits in them. Her figure was a very developed one that could make any man turn his head toward her, while other women would look at her in jealousy, with a beautiful face and a pair of pink lips. She was dressed into a one-piece, extremely tight, a black suit that hugged her figure perfectly, leaving a large opening on its upper half, revealing some of her large breasts, black claws on her hands with white fur around her suit's neck, and a black collar around her neck and a black mask over her face. This was Black Cat, underneath Felicia Hartley, and someone that Peter knows very well. Ooh. Along came the spider. And here I thought tonight was going to be all work and no fun, Black Cat said in a teasing tone that made Naruto's hairs stand up. Wow, I can see why Peter was attracted to her, Naruto thought, remembering from Peter's memories of this cat and want to keep around. What do you say, spider, think you can catch me? Cat asked as she started running and starting her game of cat and mouse. Oh, it's on now, kitty cat. Spider-Man shouted as he swung after the cat. The leather-clad burglar flipping and jumping from building to building while the webbed warrior swung right after her. Just as Cat was about to jump away, she felt her legs pulled together as she suddenly lifted, shocked to find herself now hanging upside down by her bound ankles. Sorry Cat, but game's over and I'm gonna need to take that money back, Spider-Man said, landing in front of her. Ooh, oh? And what if I don't feel like giving them money back? Black Cat teased. Then I may have to punish you, Spider-Man said, surprising the white-haired woman. And how exactly do? Felicia gasped, feeling a hard slap on her ass. You seem a bit different now, Spider Kitty-like, Black Cat said, licking her lips. This girl reminds me a bit of Anko, Naruto thought with a shiver in his spine, and almost regrets doing that and couldn't help himself as Felicia is a very attractive and beautiful woman. So a tease back won't hurt, and wonders why Peter let this girl go. She's a lot of fun to be around with. Spider-Man then took the bag and webbed back at the building that was stolen from before looking at Black Cat. You are going to leave me? Black Cat asked. Spider-Man cupped his chin, thinking for a second, and said, nah, and maybe we could have more fun without some stealing stuff. Oh, what kind of fun? Black Cat questioned. A chasing game, Spider-Man offered. Didn't we already do that? Black Cat asked while raising an eyebrow, not that she minded a good chasing game. We did. Nope, we didn't, as that was work and part of the patrol. This is for fun, Spider-Man replied before using a finger which a talon popped and cut the web to free the cat, who landed on the ground with grace. And what happens to the winner if they win this chasing game? Black Cat asked, getting very interested in Spider-Man's change of character and wanted to know more, rising her interest. Up to the winner, Spider-Man said, who felt he will be regretting that but not much and felt a strong interest in Felicia. Black Cat smirked on and had one idea in mind if she wins. "You are on," Black Cat said, taking this jazzing game on. "Good, and you're it," Spider-Man shouted, shooting a small web ball at the cat, who was surprised and saw the web swinger getting a head start. "Hey. No fair, Spider. You got your stuff on me. A gentleman will buy dinner before going that way," Black Cat said as she chases after Spider-Man and started to use claw grapples for her swing. Spider-Man chuckled and starting to like this game, reminding me of his shinobi chases he did when he was a kid, but this was funnier and adventuring to have someone that rivals your speed. "Wait a second. Where's Naruto?" thought as saw Felicia was nowhere to be seen and felt someone landing on his back, which surprised him, being the cat herself. Black Cat gives Spider-Man a seductive smirk before cutting his webs, taking the lead. "You are it," Black Cat said with her seductive smirk, not leaving her face, and blow a kiss to the spider. Recovering the fall and web swing to gain his speed back, Spider-Man then landed on the building and smiled underneath his mask, enjoying this chase a lot more and kept up with Black Cat, who was now in the lead. Their game of cat and mouse or spider and cat kept going for a while. Both taking the lead by flirting and teasing the other, rising their interest in each other a lot more and sparked feelings up more. Naruto enjoyed Felicia's company and wondered why Peter dropped her. She was amazing and a lot of fun, one of a kind. Sure, there are risks of going into a relationship in this life, but you only live once and should enjoy it with those you care about. Yeah, that sounds nice. Felicia was having the time of her life and blast with this new spider. Yeah, she is starting to see that this Spider-Man was a lot more fun and not boring like the last one, her ex that drops her for normal. Sure, it's cool to have a normal life but can be boring, and how about some fun? She won't ask him, not yet, and likes to figure things out for herself and looks forward to it. We see our spider and cat pair sitting on the edge of the building, the view, and relaxing after their chazzing game. "Whoa, did you enjoy that as much as I did and you plan to have?" Black Cat asked. "I did, and a lot more," Spider-Man admitted, looking at the cat thief. "Good, I did as well and was perfect," Black Cat said with a purr escaping her lips. Spider-Man almost chuckled at that and can tell that from the memories, himself as well, that being Felicia won't be something he would regret. No, will be a wonderful thing in his life, and trust this feeling. "Also, you won the chazzing game, graduation," Spider-Man said, recalling that Felicia had the lead ahead of him. Black Cat was surprised but had a seductive smirk and idea in mind for her reward. Just as Naruto turned to Felicia and asked what her reward be, he found out very soon and was surprised. She had pulled his mask up, passing his nose, and captured his lips, giving him a heated kiss. Naruto was stunned but soon relaxed and started to close his eyes, enjoying the heated kiss, and kissed back as his arms held the cat close to him. Felicia moaned as her reward was becoming more heated, and she wrapped her arms around the new spider's neck, enjoying more and more of her reward. In the need of air and a break, the pair broke off and patted a bit as their forehead touched each other. Something tells the other that they don't mind doing it again and get more heated. Black Cat smirked before giving Spider-Man a lick on the cheek, similar to a real cat dose, and got the blonde a little stunned, but more so when "Hey." Spider-Man called out as Black Cat had pushed him off the building, which surprised him on how his spider sense wasn't triggered at all but recovered and used his web shooters to create a large net of webs to land below him. Spider-Man landed on the large web net, which Black Cat landed on top of him and gave a quick kiss on his lips. "I can't wait for our next game, Spider," Black Cat said with a smirk and wink before leaving the scene. Naruto was stunned, aroused, and highly interested in Felicia, which he had a feeling that the Black Cat had crossed his path in more ways than one. "Whoa. Peter, you have your dumb Parker luck, but it seems I have great luck on my side." "Yeah, I look forward to our next game, Felicia," Naruto thought, knowing that this wasn't over, and lay in his web net to calm down before heading home. Naruto's apartment. After a chazzing game with heated moments and calming down, we see Spider-Man heading back and calling it a night from his nightly patrol. He covered his tracks and made sure he wasn't followed as he crawled on the walls of the building and got into his apartment through the window that he keeps on lock at night. Naruto's mind was still focused on his moments with Felicia, still thinking about how they acted and how he felt when around her. Something very special about her and wanted to know her more, despite the memories he has. Naruto was a little annoyed at how Peter always pushed Felicia away, but saw that his life wasn't so easy to have such a relationship, and this blonde plans on fixing that. Who wants to live by themself and lonesome? The sound of the door leading to the shower caused Naruto to be on guard and highly altered to who was in the apartment, which he only thought of one. Shit. Naruto cursed underneath his breath as jumped onto the ceiling and slowly crawled away from anyone to see him as he saw who was coming out of the showers. Michelle came out of the showers, humming and relaxing after a good shower, and had a white towel covering her body for the time being until she gets her robe. Naruto was doing his best to control himself and tried to take his suit off while on the roof, his mask was off. Not fun mind you, and pain in the butt. He was struggling as having an attractive woman who is almost naked does not help and was close to falling. "Oh no," Naruto said as he begins to fall and got Michelle's attention to look up before the blonde falls onto her. "Ow off." Naruto and Michelle groaned in pain before opening their eyes before winding them and face become deep red on their position. The blonde was on top with his knee very close to Michelle's lower area and left hand on her breast. The Ravenhead's towel had fallen off and felt a strong heat on how close their position was. Naruto tried to say, losing his words. Why, Michelle tried to speak but had no words as she was in the same boat as the blonde. Both of them were extremely embarrassed by their position and how down south was heated by that. Which resulted in slap. Yeah, that one. Naruto rubbed his cheek from where Michelle slapped as she got up to get change for what happened. She now wore a white shirt and gray pants for sleeping while having her face bloody red and had many questions. Naruto had put on a white robe for the time being and covered up his suit until things calmed down as he knows that it might be a long night. However, Naruto's mind drifts back to the image of Michelle's naked body he saw before getting slapped and part of him wanted him to see it again, which he shook his head and control himself. This earned him a punch in the head from the beauty next to him who knows what he was thinking and her face showed both embarrassments and even some joy even if she kept it hidden from him. "So?" Michelle tested. "What?" Naruto asked, already knowing what his roommate and friend were going to ask him given what happened not so long ago and now things are somewhat calmed down. But shouldn't speak too soon. "So, you can climb on walls?" "Yep." "Shoot webs?" "Yes." "Wearing a skin-tight costume and fight criminals?" "So true." "You're Spider-Man?" "Oh yeah." A moment of quietness was shared before another word was spoken. "Have you been Spider-Man since you moved?" Michelle asked. "Since I moved?" Naruto questioned. "A new suit and change of personality, I don't think the old one will do that unless something happened," and one of them points to a new Spider-Man. "You who moved 2 months ago when the new spider show up," Michelle replied. "Wow, you are really good and be a damn good lawyer," Naruto said, being impressed. "Flattery will get you nowhere. How come you never told me?" Michelle asked with arms crossed and eyes narrowed at the blonde who she thought was a friend, something else too, but anyway. Naruto had an ashamed look on his face as he wanted to tell Michelle, his first friend since coming to this new world who was kind and helped him. He sighed and no, there's no turning back now. "I wanted to tell you, Michelle, but didn't as I didn't want or wish to endanger others. Especially those close to me, like you," Naruto said, making Michelle blush but smile at his words. "I will keep your secret safe as long. I promise, but only if you promise to have no more secrets, okay?" Michelle said. "Sure," Naruto agreed with a smile and feel like he was out of the hot water now. "Now that's taken care of," Michelle started before picking up a newspaper and throw it at Naruto's face who was surprised by it. Why doesn't his spider sense work on women? Why him? "You are going to find a job," Michelle finished. "The rent is covered. I pay for the rent for about 4 to 5 years," Naruto said, using Otto's old accounts for paying the rent off their backs and of course, using that money to gain some more equipment in order to build better gear for himself. "Hero or not, you are going to get a job. I won't have you become a lazy ass that watches the cloud," Michelle said, "no make a certain Nara got a small cold on that." Naruto sighed, knowing that there's no way he was going to win this talk and said, "Very well. I might have a job in mind." "What's that?" Michelle asked as she walks to the kitchen to a glass of water before going to bed. Reporting, "I think I will try my luck on that area of work," Naruto replied, having a strong idea what job he was to taken and saw help wanted in the newspaper company on taking pictures of the new Spider-Man and other heroes in action. Oh yeah, he found a job on what he can do. Time skip, noon. Daily Bugle. Naruto was a little nervous, to be honest, even if he knows about this place he was going to work from Peter's memories, but he was going to get a job and this one screamed to him as taking pictures reporting himself to other heroes sounds great. The blonde sat in his chair and wore some nice clothes which he wore a white shirt with a grey visit and orange tie, black pants, and good pair of shoes. There's no strict clothes rule, but the blonde wanted to make a good impression. Naruto saw across from a good number of people working and few noticeable due to the memories. He saw at one side of the room, Nora Winters talking to her cameraman, Phil Urich on the latest shoots they got on their report. Ben Urich, who's Phil's uncle, was editing today's paper. At an empty desk who belongs to Betty Brandt who was not in the office today. However and for some reason, Naruto felt something was odd about Phil like he was hiding something and putting a mask on. A mask to hide his true face and his eyes were a little off. It was like he was ready to snap. I should keep an eye on that, Naruto thought, making a note to have a spitterbit on this location for sure and keep an eye or two on Phil. Alright. Naruto, you can come in, his maybe or soon-to-be boss, Joseph Robbie Robertson said, getting the blonde's attention. Naruto nodded his head and carried his bag before going into the office to have his meeting to find out if he got the job or not. Here goes nothing. Time skip. And what do you know, after a good number of hours later, he got the job, which was excited and texting Michelle that he got the job. Naruto had decided to suit up and get ready on taking some action shots for his first job as a reporter. He then smiled as Michelle texted back with a smiley face and thumbs up, which he replied with his own smile face as well. The web warrior put his phone away in his bag before having his spitter arms putting his bag in his back holder for the time being that has his civilian clothes. He got inspiration from Iron Spider-Man armor and Otto's arms for his own. He also brought a camera for his job and can't wait for taking some shots during his patrol. However, before heading out on patrol, something covered Spider-Man's eyes and on guard, but not much as he felt something being pushed up against his back. S2. A female and seductive voice spoke close to the spider's right ear. I don't know. A beautiful cat who crossed my path. Spider-Man teased, which he got giggled in reply and hands removed from him to see. Yep. You seem pretty excited today, Black Cat said as she walks in front of the new spider. In more ways than one. One of them happened to be our chase, and will admit that pushing me off a rooftop was not what I had in mind for a good ride, Spider-Man said, recalling who Felicia kissed, teased, and later pushed him in more ways than one. What can I say? You're fun to tease, sweetie, Black Cat said with a shrug of her shoulders. Spider-Man will have to take that for the time being, and something tells him that more of that will come. Their first night and other meets make the blonde feel happy, with which the white-haired beauty agrees that. As the cat took a seat next to him, Spider-Man couldn't help but feel that something was off. Black Cat was too quiet and even her smile showed to hide something. Is there something wrong, Cat? Spider-Man asked as Black Cat smiled at him. You could say that, Spider. It's just I have a very familiar feeling about us, however not a pleasant one, Black Cat replied, this making Spider-Man's eyes too wide behind his mask. Memories of Peter and Black Cat having fun like they did, enjoying themselves, all of them ending with the spider leaving her or making her feel alone, unwanted. I see. Can you tell me more about this? What are we, Black Cat? Spider-Man asked as the cat smiled at him, not a seductive smile, but a kind and happy one. Hard to say. I enjoy spending my time with you, I really do. Nights like this when there are just the two of us, no one else around, make me feel good, very good. But at the end, I always start to think if everything is just a charade, we only know the faces of our masks and other selves, not the real ones, and in the end things will end up the same, and I don't want that, not this time. Black Cat as Spider-Man placed his hand over hers, making her to also grab his hand very tight like she didn't wish to let go of him. So if that is the case, how about we stop this and see what we think of the individuals under these masks? Spider-Man asked, shocking Black Cat before she smiled at him. Are you sure, Spider? There won't be any easy to turn back from this, Black Cat said, wanted this but needed to be sure. With you? I never expected any, not what I actually want, Spider-Man said as Black Cat gabbed his face, pulling his mask from his mouth only, and gave him a deep loving kiss, which turned into a seductive make-out session. As the two of them separated, Spider-Man smiled as he was about to take off his mask fully, only for Black Cat to stop him and give him a smile. No. Let me do it, Black Cat said as Spider-Man allowed her to place her hands over his mask, something he also did on her own, both of them smiling at each other as they began to take off their masks. After a few seconds, both opened their eyes and looked at the side of their unmasked lovers, both looking into each other's eyes with surprise and also happiness. This was the start of something amazing great for our blonde hero. Chapter 4 Sinister 6. In a park, we see the newest pair walking together hand in hand, enjoying each other's company. It has been a few days since they got together and things were starting off great for them. So you working as a reporter? Felicia asked as the pair were talking about themselves. Yes, well, planning on heading to online college classes to earn my PhD and maybe run my own company, Naruto replied. Oh, what kind of company? Felicia asked, remembering how smart Naruto is when showing her his gear during the past couple of days. I haven't thought of it yet, still thinking over it. Maybe a company to help in different areas, not sure yet, Naruto answered honestly and had some trouble on that one. He does plan on running his own business, just not sure what kind, and something tells him he will find out one day. How about you? What do you do during the day or no night outs? Naruto asked, wondering what Felicia does as Peter's memories have nothing on that, shocking and no surprise there, but anyway. Well, I do some modeling and give tips to athletes, Felicia replied, seeing no harm in that and like to share that. Modeling? Naruto said, being surprised. Yep, special kind of modeling, Felicia said with a smile and wink which made the blonde a little worried. Unknown to the blonde is that Felicia does modeling has a rivaling with a certain red on that, but has a better work in the area she models. But anyway. Shouldn't I ask what kind? Naruto asked. You will never know until tonight, Felicia said as she links the blonde's cheek to his whisker marks, causing him to moan and purr much to her surprise. Did you just purr? Felicia asked, doing her best to hold in her giggles. They're sensitive. Naruto replied, fighting off his blush. Felicia couldn't help to giggle, and Naruto groaned at that as he knows that she will hold on that over him for a good while. The pair soon sat down on a bench nearby and kept their talk going. Naruto suddenly had a sad look on his face, remembering his past and how much he missed those he had back in his old world, which Felicia noticed and frowned a bit on that. You miss your home? Felicia asked, and yes she knows as Naruto told her about his past. She was surprised and shocked beyond belief on that, but understands due to some crazy things she came across during her years and saw that her boyfriend hasn't lied to her. Boyfriend, yeah that sounds nice. Naruto sighed and said, yeah I do and miss everyone back where I come from, but I'm happy here and I know they would have wanted me happy. Good. And what's your relationship with your roommate? Felicia asked, changing the topic which made the blonde tensed and remembered his interactions with Michelle, which too weren't rememberable at the time being. With Michelle, we are roommates and good friends, nothing major, Felicia, Naruto replied, while hiding his blush and was a bit tensed on remembering those interactions. Really? You seem to be heated up, Felicia said with a raised eyebrow. Just we had some embarrassing moments that I rather not remember at the time being. Like having a beautiful and sexy cat to remember now, Naruto said as brought his right arm and bring Felicia closer to him. Felicia smiled and rested her head on the blonde's shoulder. She will take that answer and can be reasonable as she shouldn't be jealous, but can't help being worried for her spider now and how big his heart is. She will need to have a talk with Michelle and later Naruto about that. However, the peace and quiet were gone as the sounds of police sirens can be heard and saw a good number of police cars passing by. Please just be banking robbing. Please be a banking robbing, Naruto begged as he goes to check on his phone, patrol app that he instead after making some spitterbits and see what kind of crime was in progress. It pays to have some OSCP and Horizon equipment which a good number of which are spare parts or none that haven't been used in a long way. It works in the blonde's favor to gain them for his own uses and improve his gear. One day of peace and quiet, but where's some fun in it, Felicia said with a sigh and know that their quiet day was out, but not the night she has a plan for her spider. Indeed and it seems we have a group of criminals stealing a power generator, Naruto said, reading the information off from his patrol app and saw a few pictures that his spitterbits gain of the villains they may face. Time for work, Felicia said as they get up and exited out of the park for a good area to get suited up. Yep, time for work, Naruto agreed as the pair were in an alleyway and time for another patrol for our pair. Time for the spider and cat to take action. Time skip. In the middle of the streets of New York and towards the lab factory, we see police officers being pinned down by the group of criminals who almost done getting the job down. 6 members which their names should be easy to know, but later as we go over the members. The leader of the group was using his gauntlets to blast sonic blasts of green and push the cops away from them. This was the new Shocker, who took the name after the original was damaged from the fight when working with Otto and blackmailed the world by burning it alive. Specular Spider-Man, Shocker. Beetle, a new one, is a young woman wearing a purple and black full bodysuit with purple gloves, long-legged boots, bodice, and eye mask. The remainder of her suit was black like a thin but strong make-woven suit. On her gauntlets were wrist guns and a subtle purple belt with pouches and holsters for laser guns, distraction items, and laser knives. Lastly, her shoulders were purple guards and on her back had an unusual mechanical pack. Boomerang wore a black suit with silver body armor and had boomerangs on his armor. Living Brain is a green robot that is covered in a hard metal that is not easy to break through. Overdrive wore a black suit with dark green armor pads and a battle helmet that looks like a motorcycle bike helmet. He was driving a giant battle wheel as the group's getaway car. The last member of the group who traveled at a fast form of speed is named Speed Demon, wearing a blue and red suit with golden lightning bolts on his suit. We are good, boys, girl, and robot. Shocker questioned, having a southern accent, cowboy if you will. All good partner. The boss will like this, a power generator, but why ask us to get one? Boomerang asked, not sure why their boss wants a generator of this kind. Don't ask questions, Boomerang, just do the job. Beetle, tin can almost done. Shocker said, looking at the two. All done, one power generator ready to go, Beetle said as she blasted a few cars out of the way with purple beams of energy out of her wrist gauntlets. KKK all is done, Living Brain informed as he carried the power generator and loaded it up in the giant wheel that Overdrive was driving. Good. Speed Demon, get your ass over here, no more fun. We have a timetable to stick to follow with, Shocker informed, stopping the speedster's fun. Yeah, boss. I'm here, Speed Doom said as he zooms to the group. So what you guys call yourself if you don't me asking? An unknown male voice asked, getting the group's attention to who was swinging in. The 6 villains looked up and saw a familiar web warrior web swinging in who was wearing a different version of his suit instead of the red and blue they are familiar with. They all thought it was the same one, but now they saw he was different and all new Spider. Spider-Man. The 5 shouted while the robot idled its head to the side. That's my name, don't wear it, Spider-Man joked before dodging a boomerang thrown by Boomerang, thanks to Spider Sense which he dodged another attack from Beetle. Hold still you bug. Beetle shouted before being webbed in the face which she was annoyed with and forced to pull it off. Spiders are different from common bugs on my dear. And is that a new look? I like the suit design. Nice touch-up, Spider-Man commended which surprised the new Beetle and her teammates. Did Spider just flirt with her? What? Beetle asked in shock, surprised, and felt heat on her face. Yep. So you guys calling yourself the Sinister Six or some kind of rock band? A band will be nice, Spider-Man commented before dodging a sonic pulse blase from Shocker and jumped in the air to web swing to dodge the attacks. Sinister Six, Spider-Man. And hold still so I can put you out of your mercy, Shocker said as he opens fire. Boss, we are cutting in close, Speed Demon reminded. Shocker grunted on that as he much and his group would love to deal with webs, but they have a strike timetable to follow and their boss will not be happy if they are late. Fine but after one for the road, Shocker said before using both of his gauntlets to launch another blast at Spider-Man who dodged the attack. Beetle and Living Brain were about to open fire, but they tackled and jumped from behind from an unknown enemy. The robot gained 5 claw marks on its back and was about to turn around, but was blasted by Shocker who missed his attack and hit Living Brain instead who fell down forward. And 1 down, 5 to go, Spider-Man said before looking at his partner girlfriend. Good timing cat, Spider-Man commented. Thanks, Spider, Black Cat said, taking comment and glad to have some fun while promising some pain to this group for running their date. Since when you two start working together? Beetle asked while rubbing her head in pain and groaned. Since when we can. Why? Is someone jealous? Black Cat teased with a smirk. I'm not jealous. Beetle shouted before using her blasters and opened fire on the pair. I don't know. You seem to be blushing and defending yourself. First signs of jealousy, Black Cat remarked before ducking from another set of lasers. How do you know I am blushing? I am wearing a mask, Beetle said which her gauntlets were webbed by the spider. I didn't, I guess. Oh, who would have known? Black Cat said before backflipping and landed on the ground with grace which her boyfriend joined her. Who would have known, indeed, Spider-Man agreed before his spider sense went off and dodged a set of boomerangs being thrown at him which Black Cat saw the danger and dodged the attacks as well. Nearby we see Shocker, Boomerang, and Speed Demon loading up in the giant wheel which Overdrive started to power up their getaway car and kick it to high gear. Boomerang had gotten out and started to throw boomerangs to back up Beetle's escape. Beetle, we are leaving. Boomerang shouted before throwing exploding boomerangs at the pair who dodged thanks to their agility. Fine. This is not over cat, Beetle said before taking off and flew into the open hatch of the giant wheel. Spider-Man then switched his web shooters out for something else and fired a special track onto the female member of the group without her noticing, a special spider tracer that the blonde made himself. The pair saw the getaway car driving away, leaving the area and some thoughts in mind. You have an idea what they stole? Black Cat asked. I do as I heard it. They stole a power generator which it won't make sense to steal as it's just a generator to power up any place for over a year, 2 at most, Spider-Man started. But. Black Cat said, sensing there's more. But there are a few ways for that generator to be used for. I might have an idea on that, Spider-Man finished. Good and I think we should leave. Let the boys in blue finished up, Black Cat pointed, seeing the police officers getting themselves out of the ground and help as much as they can. Good call, Spider-Man agreed as he starts web swing to leave the area with his girl following beside him. Spider Drone 01, launch, the web warrior commanded, activating his wrist computer in his gauntlet and have one of his drones follow the signal built within the spider tracer. Cool toys, Black Cat commented as she watched a drone flying towards where the new Sinister Six were heading, not knowing they were being tracked and the pair will hear everything that is going on. And learn more about their new boss as well who hired them to steal for him or her. Thanks. If you want, I would improve your equipment as well, Spider-Man offered. That's sweet and I might take you on your offer after we deal with this knock version of the Six, Black Cat said as they swing through the city and head back to the blonde's apartment to rest for a bit before their next patrol. Deal, now let's head back. Michelle has some ideas for dinner and I want to try my luck on cooking it out, Spider-Man said, remembering how different foods he can cook and was a damn good cook. It pays to learn new things these days. Now that I look forward to, Black Cat commented, knowing firsthand how great food her boyfriend makes. A good meal before dealing with criminals is a great idea. Chapter 5 Enforcers. Naruto's apartment. In the blonde's apartment, we see the three having dinner which the blonde had to cook, a great skill to have in a new world. I'm surprised you didn't take that robot, Naruto, Michelle commented from the battle that took place from the news on the TV or pictures that the blonde took. I would have but I have no authority on that. Living Brain will either go to the police station for lockup or Horizon Labs to study on. I can't do anything on that as of right now, I am a reporter and need to make a good story for tomorrow, Naruto said as he looks over the photos he took from his camera and spitterbits captured on film for his report. Aren't you an Avenger? Felicia asked as she eats another bite. Not sure on that as the original first Spider-Man was a member. But for me? A new Spider-Man? I am not sure about that as they never contacted me or anything. You would think these guys have a cell phone with all of those texts, Naruto replied, but had a feeling they will contact him once he starts making big moves and they question him about a few things. Oh, that would be interesting for sure. And this new Sinister Six group? Michelle questioned. 5, Naruto and Felicia corrected. Whatever. What do they want? Michelle asked. At this moment, I'm working on it thanks to the new gear I made. The spider tracer can track them while listening in and my spider drone is hacking into information around them. And strong possibility who hired them, Naruto replied as he checked his phone and saw his spider drone was downloading information in 50% and closing in. I might have a general idea. I have been hearing rumors of a good number of crime bosses wanting to uprise the current kingpin and become the new godfather of crime. Minter Negative, Owl, and some names I can't remember at the top of my head, Felicia informed, remembering a few rumors on the streets of a possible gang war might happen. That limited down to a few names and some who want that kind of power for a criminal empire, Naruto said, recalling from the memoirs on a good number of crime bosses that want to take down Wilson Fisk and become the new kingpin. The blonde had a few in mind and would need to keep an eye on that, which his spider drone will get a good amount of information. Then suddenly the sound of a phone was ringing which got Naruto and Felicia to look at Michelle, who finds out that her phone was ringing. Hello, Michelle answered before putting her phone on speaker. Hey Michelle, how's life treating you? A female voice asked, being very familiar, and the trio know who it was. Doing good MJ. How's your nightclub and modeling going? Michelle asked. Doing alright, can't much complain about the business hours at night, but overall very good, MJ replied. Naruto and Felicia stay quiet, just listening for the time being. What brings you back to New York? I thought you left to help your brother out, MJ said, recalling the last time the black-haired beauty was here in New York and why she left. Yeah, I did. My brother is working at a good part-time job and get himself back on his feet. I thought of coming back to New York and finished my law school for being a lawyer, full-time instead of part-time for sure, Michelle explained. I see, that makes sense. And how's your new roommate? MJ asked, sounding interested in the blonde-haired roommate. Naruto wonders about that as Felicia did too, who raised an eyebrow at that question. Nothing much. An overall normal guy who is smart, working as a reporter now, and one hell of a chief, Michelle commented. Anything else about him? MJ asked. Why are so interested? Michelle questioned. AJ just interested and wonder what this newcomer in town is up to, MJ replied, but the three can tell she was lying and hiding something, but what is a good question? If you want to know guy, just swing by and have a visit. You know where the apartment is and I know you have a good hours before the nightclub starts, Michelle offered. Felicia wasn't too happy on that offer, her rivalry with the Redeed for a good number of reasons. Naruto saw this and held his girl's hand to calm her down which worked, wanting to hear where this talk ends. Maybe. I will have to see when I can, MJ said. Well don't take too long and I understand you miss Peter. I do too and he will be alright. And who knows, maybe Naruto can help you out, he is kind and treats people with kindness that needs it, Michelle informed. We will see. I have to go now. Nice talking with you Michelle. Bye, MJ said, ending the call. Bye, Michelle said, ending the call on her end. Trying to set me for a date? Naruto asked as he drinks his water. Nah, just want to help a friend or you don't mind more than one player, Michelle teased with a smirk. Naruto would have choked on his drink but recovered and said, nope, not a player and choose life. Good answer, but it might change, Felicia commented. Huh? This got Naruto off guard. Oh, who knows but I want to have a chat with Michelle. You mind give us some alone time for our chat? Felicia requested. Sure. And it looks like I might have the information finished. I will let you when I gather up the rest for our night patrol, Naruto said, getting up and took his phone with him, seeing he was at 85% on data completed. Sounds good to me, Felicia said before turning her attention towards the black-haired roommate who might and most likely have feelings for the new spider like her. Naruto didn't need his spider sense to sense that Felicia and Michelle were going to have a big talk, making him a bit tensed and scared, to be honest. He felt a weird aura around those two who behind him were actually talking and had plans for the blonde. That smile, that mischievous smile. I feel a little worried now and have a bad feeling about what they are planning, Naruto thought with a shiver and had a feeling that he will find out soon enough as he saw the girls smiling mischievously at him, unknowing that their claws will get into him and more than one way. Then his phone beeped and started to show the information coming in. The blonde grabbed his goggles that have a HUD version mode like his mask lens does and started to see what his spider drone has gathered up. Naruto found out that sinister group was hired by Hammerhead, a former enforcer of Magia crime family who became his own crime boss and one of the well-known criminals in New York. The blonde already knows that from the memories that both Peter and Otto had on fought that crime boss in their separate lives. Those memories will help him on fighting that crime boss and not the strength to fight him in a front fight, but maybe something else in mind. However, what interested the blonde more was the meeting that his spider drone hacked into. A meeting on Hammerhead talking to his goons about some backstabbing and cutting out loose ends. Oh, that would be interesting and the sinister group would love to hear about it. Time skip. Horizon Lab. In one of the labs in New York, Horizon Labs goes into research, study, and engineering as well. We see the Sinister 6-5 attacking the labs and stealing another generator for what their boss required. They wonder why those generators made little sense but didn't question it as the money was right. That didn't stop them from having second thoughts much. The sinister group were about to head out but were stopped by Spider-Man and Black Cat who swung in to deal with them. However, before their fight could start, something happens as gangsters came out of black vans and loaded up their guns. Spider-Man's spider senses were going nuts and sensed a danger, not coming to him but to everyone, and made his eyes widen. "Get down," Spider-Man shouted before tackling Black Cat to take cover behind a stone pillar. The sinister group saw the danger and took cover behind Overdrive's giant wheel, who activated the shields to defend themselves. "What the hell? Hey, assholes, you are shooting at the wrong guys. We work for your boss," Boomerang shouted before being pulled back to dodge a few bullets aiming at him. "We did that scumbag work," Beetle said, not believing this. The leader, Shocker, was grunting in anger and smelled that Hammerhead set them up, or maybe not. "It's easy to see, you guys have been set up as pawns by Hammerhead," Spider-Man said as he and his girl got up from the ground to look at the sinister group across from them. "You lie," Speed Demon shouted over the sounds of gunshots. "Really?" Spider-Man questioned before throwing a new cell phone at Shocker who got it and looks at the proof. "I want it done tonight, boys. I will come out on top and would like all loose ends to be clean up. Not just that wall crawler or pussycat, it also means the new Sinister 6 as well," Hammerhead voice spoke over the phone, information that the new spider gather up and proof. "That son of a bitch," Shocker shouted, losing his cool and open-fired his sonic gauntlets onto the men that were hired to take him and his group out. The cars and men were launched into the air but were captured in a large web that was set up by Spider-Man, being lucky on setting those large webs around the area up and captured those thugs like the bugs they are. "I must say I have outdone myself. New recorded on setting up large webs," Spider-Man commented. "Not bad," Black Cat agreed, being impressed with her boyfriend's work. "Alright, Bug, time to finish this," Shocker said, still upset, and was looking on taking his anger out on the new spider. "Maybe or maybe not, Shocker. We could finish our fight and last us to morning or we do something else instead. Partner up and take down Hammerhead for the betrayal," Spider-Man offered. "Sounds like a good idea to me," Black Cat commented. "Team up with you?" Boomerang asked, almost if someone was telling him a joke, and did his best to control his laughter. "That is a good one," Speed DM laughed. Spider-Man and Black Cat weren't laughing, idiots were the only thing on their mind. And they won't only want to think like that. "That does sound like a bad idea," Beetle commented as she cupped her chin and thought. "Yeah, I mean payback onto Hammerhead will be nice," Overdrive agreed. "What give you two that idea on partnering up with those two?" Shocker asked. "It's a lot better than being stabbed in the back and I would love to get back at Hammerhead for not this, but for that betrayal he did to my father," Beetle said in anger, who always wanted to get back at Hammerhead for betraying her father those years ago, and this was a good time for it. Spider-Man saw that, getting memories of his life and Peter's about that feeling, wanting revenge. It won't help, only build up the cycle of hatred and create a bigger threat. "I understand that. Anger, wanting revenge, but that won't help Beetle. That would only create a bigger threat than Hammerhead," Spider-Man said. "And how would you know that?" Beetle shouted as she grabbed the spider by his suit chest. Spider-Man sighed, seeing that coming, and put his hands on Beetle's shoulders. I too know what it feels like on losing those closest to you, Spider-Man answered, which surprised the group and Black Cat, but the white-haired beauty had been told a good number of things by the blonde. Beetle lowered her head and was close to letting her tears out, but stay strong and could hear some sobs. It says, we agree on dealing with Hammerhead. What do we get in return? Shocker asked. Payback and sending that bonehead to jail. But also get the chance of doing some good and step out of the Sinister Six's shadow by being own group. Sinister Six has a bad history when fighting me and doesn't have a good one that the world knows, Spider-Man replied, recalling what Otto had done. Shocker will admit that the new wallcrawler had a good point. He singled his group to talk with him in private and they whispered to each other, which Beetle joined in. The five were going back and forth on whatever or not on getting payback and start a somewhat new path. Think this could work? Black Cat asked. Only one way to find out, Spider-Man replied, hoping his plan works and if some criminals can be redeemed. Later. In other news, one of the crime bosses, Hammerhead, has been taken into custody for a good number of crimes and chaos he started tonight. His tower building was attacked by a former group of villains, Spider-Man and Black Cat. Nora Winters started as pictures of the battle were shown of Shocker and his group fighting off Hammerhead's men in the building. And set of photos showing Spider-Man and Black Cat dealing with Hammerhead himself in his very own office. Now New York can rest easy with Hammerhead heading to the court, jail most likely. We must ask ourselves about this new Spider-Man, his actions, and what is to come with a group of villains taking this new leaf. I hope they are good answers. This is Nora Winters from the Daily Bugle. Enjoy the night, Nora finished before the TV was turned off by the blonde himself. Naruto smiled at how the night patrol was great tonight. Not only he and Felicia deal with Hammerhead, but also redeem a group of villains and turn over a new leaf. The blonde had made a great deal with Shocker, who agreed to it, and they enjoyed beating that bonehead like a ragdoll for his crimes and double-crossing them. And that group was going as the new enforcers, which Spider and Cat have their numbers in case they need a hand on their missions. Yes, the new enforcers are becoming a freelancers group, bounty hunters more likely. It was good and shows that some good are in the world, something that Naruto knows that a certain godfather would be proud of him. And crying in tears because his godson lives with two hot girls. Yeah, that's Jiraiya for you. Naruto had used his camera, spitterbits and spider drones on taking all of those pictures for Nora's night reporting while he makes the morning news, which he emails to his boss, Robbie, who was impressed with a good first story the blonde created. A good start and needs to keep it up. Naruto had come back to his apartment very late after getting his work done as both himself and Spider-Man. Felicia had gone home before him and wonder what she's planning. Michelle should already be fast asleep by now. And he should get some rest as well, but not quite yet. Welcome home, Spider, a certain female voice spoke, being sweet and seductive, getting the blonde to turn around and was speechless at what he saw. Felicia was beautiful and amazing like before, wearing nothing but underwear. She wore a lustful pair of black underwear, her bra hugging her massive breasts perfectly, showing the design of blackthorn roses on it. The same design is present on her panties. Her appearance alone can make any man fall down from blood loss or gravel at her feet. Naruto froze in place, dropping all of his equipment, his eyes fixed on the sexy cat in front of him as his mouth was left wide open and blushed in deep red. He's starting to get what his girl meant by a special kind of modeling. Felicia giggled at the blonde's reaction, it was priceless. That is what kind of modeling you do? Naruto asked, fighting off his shock, blushed face, and bloody nose from what was happening. Yep, glad you like it. This one is one of the special ones I made myself, Felicia said with a smirk as she walks over to the blonde with a sway of her hips, a show for the blonde to enjoy, and was now close to him, which backed them up to the bed. Naruto was sitting on the bed with Felicia straddling on his waist and was very close to him, feeling heated and doing his best on keeping himself in control. He had an idea of what might happen due to Peter's memories and other things from what his godfather had told, but wasn't sure at the moment. Seeing this, Felicia smiled and said, "Don't worry, Naruto. I will love to show you my love and rock your world, but we can wait, and I thought of a good show for you. A preview to a special one and something to keep an eye on. And the chance to bring more for the fun." "Yeah, wait, what?" Naruto said, catching on to what the white-haired beauty had told him. "Don't be so surprised, Naruto. Michelle and I had a good talk about our relationship with you," Felicia said. Naruto now remembers earlier when they were talking to each other and wonder what they were talking about back then, which he was going to find out soon. "And what have you both decided?" Naruto asked. "We both agree on sharing with you," Felicia answered. Naruto was about to speak, but Felicia cut him by placing a finger on his lips. "You need to have happiness in your life and shouldn't be a problem for you. You did mention about some soul heirs have more than one lover in your old world in life," Felicia said, remembering Naruto talking to her about his old life and some statues that a few people have. Naruto was quiet, remembering that and how he could have been into that clan restoration arc, statues, harem if you will. The blonde fits into that due to being the last surviving member of his parents' clans, and some can't see he needs a lot of love and kindness because of what happened to him. Felicia, I won't lie about and how I feel about you, Michelle. But this is new to me, Naruto said, being honest. I understand, but just now that I am your first in Alpha, Felicia said with a smile on her face. I can agree to that, Naruto said. Good. Now tonight, let's rest as we have a good number of things to do tomorrow and next following days, Felicia said as she pushed them down onto the bed and cuddled next to her blonde spider. Yeah, that sounds good to me, Naruto agreed as held onto his white-haired girlfriend and rest for the night. The day may have been a long day but was worth it and a great start of something for our blonde hero to have in his life. A new day has come, morning in New York, and we see our web warrior Web swing for a patrol. Well, not that kind of patrol. Is he chasing someone and doing their cat and spider game for fun or a morning workout if one looks at it in a different way? Naruto and Felicia decide to have their chase on for the morning, get a good warm-up for their day. The blonde had posted his first story on the new enforcers and their partner up with Spider-Man and Black Cat, making a great hit in today's news. Not bad for his week on the job, and now it's time for some fun. Spider-Man soon web-swinged upwards and landed on the building rooftop, landing in front of Black Cat and stopped in her tracks. There we are. Looks like an easy game for me, Cat, Spider-Man commented. Oh no, sweetheart. I thought you know me better by now. I don't give up, Black Cat said as she does a little spin on her feet before stopping to look at her boyfriend, opening her eyes which flashed a little green and become slit like a cat for a second which they stare right into Spider's eyes. Spider-Man blinked a couple of times as this was new to him, being both amazed and strange at the same time. Black Cat smirked as she knows what she did before kissing her boyfriend's cheeks and kept running, not letting morning chase be done yet. No, the chase is over, Spider-Man said as he brought his web shooters to shoot his webs, but something happened and caused different feedback instead of his normal web line. The web shooter's feedback came back onto the web warrior, capturing him in a net made of web. What the hell? Spider-Man said in shock, not believing this as this never happened before and was surprised by it. Black Cat giggled at that and said, didn't I forget to mention of a little power I have? Luck or rather bad luck like black cats have. You Spider-Man started before getting upset on struggling with the next and used his talons to claw his way out of the web net. You never told me that and I don't recall you having that power, Spider-Man said as Peter's memories were unless as he never dealt with this before. Trade secret, Black Cat teased before blowing a kiss to the spider and kept the case going. Okay, Felicia has bad luck powers and it seems she needs to have eye contact with who she wants to have bad luck. But how long it last? Good question and something tells me I will have to find out the hard way, Spider-Man thought, recalling how his girl's eyes shin and change for a second before his bad luck came. Spider-Man ran to the edge and was about to shoot a web towards Black Cat, but a helicopter flew right past in front of him and his web attached to the helicopter instead. His eyes widened and know what was going to happen as he flew away with the copter. Black Cat smirked and enjoyed the scene of Spider-Man flying away. Spider-Man then let go of the web which resulted in his fall into a large garbage truck, much to his despair. Oh come on, Spider-Man mumbled to himself before web swinging out of the truck and follow Black Cat, noting his luck was returning to normal now. Black Cat turns her head to behind her, seeing her boyfriend was not giving up and was catching up with her. Easy up with the birds, Black Cat commented as her eyes shined at the spider and caused another bad luck to come again. What? Spider-Man questioned with a raised eyebrow, not catching what Cat meant until it was too late. The wall crawler swung but was stopped as some birds came smashing into his face and resulted in him crashing into the side of a building. He grunted in pain before using his left arm to swing at the birds and scare them away. Why is my spider sense not working? Spider-Man asked himself out loud and couldn't understand why it doesn't work on Felicia or Michelle when something like this happens to him. Why him? Black Cat jumped from rooftop to rooftop and landed on a roof where the outdoor pool was out. She looked around for her boyfriend, seeing no sign of him, and almost thought that he gave up but not so much. Before the white-haired beauty could move on, she was stopped when Spider-Man jumped in front of her and blocked her path of escape. Okay, that's enough. Chase is over, Cat, Spider-Man said, having enough of the bad luck powers. Not over yet, Spider, Black Cat said, which she shinned her eyes at the web warrior who tackles her but was too late as bad luck hit him. Spider-Man had fallen towards Black Cat, making her smirk and hugged him very tight, which resulted in them falling into the pool, making a splash and caused them both to be wet, but hey, clean up after everything. Soon enough, the pair came out of the water, Black Cat still hugging Spider-Man tightly as the said spider swam them to the edge of the pool and he sighed after everything that has happened. Well, at least I'm clean up, Spider-Man remarked, taking a good note to all of this mess. Black Cat giggled at that remark and said, "True. Sorry about the bad luck swing your way. It's cool, Felicia. I can never be mad at you and was a good tease, prank too," Spider-Man commented. "Nothing like your crazy pranks?" Black Cat asked. "I was a kid at the time and did a lot of crazy stuff, but this one has new meaning," Spider-Man admitted. "And how about this?" Black Cat questioned with a smirk as she brought her hands by the spider's mask to pull it up. "Totally different," Spider-Man said. "Let's see." Spider-Man and Black Cat kissed while holding each other tightly in the pool, which their simple kiss turned more heated. It would have gotten more heated and bolder, but the need for air stopped them and a phone ringed. Spider-Man sighed with a groan which Black Cat shared on their moment was stopped, but life is life. Spider-Man answered his phone which he was lucky to get withstand water and got out of the pool with Black Cat sitting next to him. "Naruto here," Naruto said. "Hey Naruto. Just want to say great work on your first report and Robbie says to keep it up, the editor, or one of them, Ben Urich." "Thanks Ben. Glad that everyone liked my first news report," Naruto said. Yeah, but everyone in the office loved it. Keep it up and you might run the company," Ben joked. "Yeah, I don't think so," Naruto said with a small laugh as Felicia kept on hugging him close and rubbed his chest while purring and enjoyed this close with her boyfriend. "Indeed. Now writing stories like this is good. Robbie wants you to take some pictures of New York's lifestyle, get a good image of what the city is like and away from a criminal activity if can't be helped. Mayor Jameson would like it and not you know what," Ben informed. Naruto sighed, knowing about JJJ from Peter's memories and how the mayor was onto him lately. Not like he was back in the old days, but still, Jameson is Jameson who is lucky that the blonde is not a kid anymore or else he would be unleashing his pranks. "You understand?" Ben asked. "I understand Ben. I will get onto that and send you pictures of the lifestyle. And if something happens, I will get that too," Naruto replied. "Good. Take care Naruto," Ben said. "You too Ben," Naruto said as the two ended the phone call. "So much for a hole of hanging out," Felicia said. "Yeah, but it happens. I promised to make it to you and Michelle tonight," Naruto said as he pulled his mask down while putting his phone away. "We will hold you up to that, Spider," Black Cat said as she kissed the spider's cheeks. "I know you will, Cat," Spider-Man said as he kissed the cat's forehead. "Good," Black Cat commented with a smirk and enjoyed spending time with her boyfriend who she is sharing and might get more to join his harem unless she says the okay and judges them first. And yes, has plans for later tonight. "Time skip. Wow, I never know you did this kind of modeling and I buy most of this stuff," Michelle said in surprise as she learns more about Felicia's special skill in modeling. "Thanks. I sometimes surprise myself on what I can do," Felicia said as she hands Michelle her clothes as she was changing back to and found what she needed. Since Naruto was working and taking pictures until the afternoon, Michelle decided to have a girl's time and took Felicia with her shopping to pass time which the white-haired beauty was cool with it. "So we are going to surprise Naruto tonight?" Michelle asked as she comes out of the dressing room. "Nah, not tonight. Later this week, I want to get him to relax into this status, new to him, and needs to welcome them," Felicia said, knowing that Naruto is working about it and needs a good amount of people in his heart in this new world. Unknown to the pair is that Naruto will bump into a certain Reed by accident when taking pictures and should be a very interesting interaction between the pair while a certain cop is onto the new Spider-Man but doesn't have the clear picture. Avengers Tower, meeting room. The first one stands out as one of the greatest heroes, the first Avenger, Captain America, Steve Rogers, who put his shield behind his back, took a seat which three more joins to start the meeting. The second is an amazing and gorgeous woman with beautiful long red hair, stunning blue eyes, and her body was very developed which showed years of training, making women jealous of her. She wore a tight black suit that hugged her figure in the right places, golden wrist gauntlets which are known as her widow bites, a golden belt with a black widow symbol in the middle of it, and black boots. This was Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, one of the world's super spy and member of the Avengers. The third is a gorgeous tall woman with long, silk black hair, her body showing to be a very developed one, with a chest that can make any other women feel jealous of her, while her lower half and other features could make any man fall on his knees. She was dressed in an orange-red suit, which had her belly yellow in color, along with the area between her breasts, black lines being seen all around her suit. A mask that covered only her eyes, allowing her pink lips to remain free, a pair of spider-like themed visors, and a black and golden triangle on her forehead. She was also wearing a pair of yellow gloves, yellow boots, and one of the most noticing aspects of her suit was the web-like wings that could be seen attached to her arms or more accurately under her arms. This was Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, another member of the Avengers. The fourth was Wolverine, Logan, who was wearing the familiar yellow and black suit with the black cowl as well. These four were having a meeting about the sudden appearances of the new Spider-Man. They first thought it was the old one with a new look during the past month or two, but changed when seeing him in action, and his personality was a bit different from the original. And how he had given a group of criminals a chance and a certain thief as well. They will need to have a look into that. Black Widow hummed in thought as she read the news report of Spider-Man and his allies taking Hammerhead down. She found the article too specific and on the list, too good to be added. She also found out that the person that wrote this, Naruto Uzumaki, was new around here, too new and something to keep an eye on. This should be interesting. Outside of New York. On the aircraft, we see a group of men wearing yellow hazmat suits and we're recording everything they have on this new Spider-Man for their leaders. This might be a breakthrough for their group as capturing the new Spider and running tests will create super soldiers of their own kind. They need to call in a few favors and see if one of them can capture the Spider, which one might have better luck than the rest. Underground base in Washington, D.C. An underground base, green and yellow in color with a familiar skull and octopus flag symbol. A lone figure sits in a throne-like chair while crossing the legs and hummed in thought as they watch the motor that shows different showings of the new Spider-Man in action. The light came on and showed who was sitting on the throne, who was a beautiful young woman with long black hair as the night itself, a pair of deep green eyes, which look like the eyes of a snake, and black lipstick located on her lips. Her body showed to be at her prime, her figure outmatching any normal woman, her breasts being extremely big and her bottom being very developed, her slim figure making any man and even woman fall for her. She was dressed into an extremely tight green, sleeveless bodysuit made of leather, 2 light green belts around her waist with 2 bags attached to them, a pair of long leather green gloves on her hands, a pair of light green high-heeled boots, and a long black whip being present in her hands. This was Madame Hydra, or she likes to call herself, Viper. Viper hummed thought, watching the video of the new Spider-Man very closely, while other members of the Hydra High Council had the information on it as well and know that Otto is not in control, but rather someone else. Oh, they know from the get-go what that good doctor had planned and even give him technology support in return for his membership in Hydra, but it seems the plans have changed and become something else. However, Viper, like a snake, can use this to her edge and something for her uses. This should be interesting. And so, that's why I pranked that guy, Naruto said, telling a funny story of how he pranked some people bad-mouthing him when he was a kid. The giggle could be heard, who is a young woman with stunning red hair and green eyes that sparked life like a forest and was a bombshell of a woman. She wore a pink shirt with a brown jacket over it, blue jeans, and heels while carrying her handbag. This was Mary Jane Watson, who the Uzumaki bumped into by accident and the pair started to interact with each other. Naruto can tell from the memories and in person that Mary Jane was something else, a jackpot indeed. That's some crazy prank, Naruto. You don't have any one of those pranks around? Mary Jane asked. Nah, I grow up. I was a kid and a troubled one, but luckily had a good mother figure to get me out of those troublesome acts, Naruto replied, being thankful for a certain Senju who was like a mother to him and missed her a lot. Good. Sounds like she did a good job, Mary Jane commented. Yeah, she did work hard on that, but supported and was there for me, Naruto said with a small frown as he missed her and everyone. Mary Jane noticed that and said, touching subject. Nah, I just miss her, that's all, Naruto simply replied. Maybe you should visit her, Mary Jane suggested. I plan to one day, Naruto said, mumbling the last part. Good. Oh, how's Michelle doing? Mary Jane asked, changing the subject. She's doing good. Getting her full-time lawyer is coming along well, and rent is covered for sure, Naruto replied, knowing how that woman drives him to work. The rent and all. Good, Mary Jane said and was about to speak again, but was stopped as the Redeed's phone rang and took it out to answer it. Yes, Naruto said. Hey, handsome, Michelle and I are heading to the apartment. You are on your way? Felicia asked. Yeah, I should be heading back soon. I'm just finished with my pictures and reports for the day while talking to a friend, Naruto informed, surprising the Redeed a bit. Cool. See you soon, sweetheart, Felicia said as she blew a kiss. You too, Naruto chuckled with a smirk and the pair ended the phone call. Another friend? Mary Jane asked. Yeah, and you too, MJ. I see you as my friend too, Naruto replied with a smile on his face. We just met, Mary Jane pointed out. True, but I feel good and happy being around you. Sorry if that sounds cheesy, Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head. Oh no, it's not. I feel the same way and hope we can hang out more, Mary Jane said, feeling a warm welcome and something more familiar to the Redeed than just his hair color, but she couldn't help but wonder if they had met before. Me too, Naruto agreed, feeling warm and getting to know Mary Jane more. He never understood why Peter kept putting the relationship on or off with her. She was a jackpot in both personality and body. Keep it up, you might win the jackpot, Mary Jane commented as she took her to leave and surprisingly felt to keep on talking with Naruto a bit more. I just might, knowing my luck, Naruto admitted while rubbing the back of his head and taking his leave back to his apartment, walking instead as it wasn't far and could use the walk to think over a few things. Naruto was humming in thought and still couldn't help but wonder more about Mary Jane from the memories and his first meeting with her. Yeah, she was something indeed, a jackpot indeed, and something to keep an eye on. He brought his phone out and hit the patrol app to have one of his new spitterbits placed at a certain nightclub where the redeed works. Better safe than sorry, Naruto thought, knowing that something may happen and will have a few of his bots to watch over that nightclub, just in case. Trusting his gut and memories as something could happen to Mary Jane, again better safe than sorry. Time to head back home. Small time skip. Took a small amount of time, but we saw Naruto at the apartment and enjoyed the rest of the noon before the night patrol. He saw Michelle on the sofa with the TV on and noticed that he was home. Hey Whiskers, how was today's reporting going? Michelle asked as she enjoyed watching the good spots and news today. Doing good, Michelle. Got all my work done today and sent the pages to Ben for editing to later publish, Naruto replied. Patrol tonight? Michelle questioned. Always, Naruto simply replied. Sounds good, but I will have to set this one out, Felicia said, popping her head out from the shower room. How come? Naruto asked, knowing that Felicia won't sit out for some fun. I have a few things to take care of as I have been hearing rumors coming around and want to take a look into them, Felicia answered. What kind of rumors? Naruto questioned. Nothing trouble, I hope. A few things here and there, going to take a more deep look into it and finish my modeling for sure, Felicia informed. Sounds like a plan, Naruto said, while could use this time to work on a few of his equipment and some surprises for Felicia he has in store for her. Yo, you two should hear this, Michelle called out, getting the pair's attention to see on the TV's sudden news of a robbery happening. The TV screen showed video and pictures of people wearing bird-themed costumes and high-tech battle wings to steal a good number of pieces of equipment, and one of them was from Oscar. An experimental tech was stolen last night and police officers just reported in today as they just found out. Naruto hummed in thought on two things: who was behind this robbery and why had the police just now reported in? Good questions. Smell a problem? Felicia asked with a raised eyebrow. Yes. Most likely Vulture is behind these robberies, hiring his flocker gang from the looks of it. I might have just the equipment to ground those birds. But what troubles me is why the police just now reported in and show these now to the media. Naruto explained. Indeed. That just sounds off, Michelle said, seeing this very strange and smells like a trap. Do you think someone in the NYPD is working for Vulture? Felicia asked. Naruto shook his head and said, not his style. Toombs is many things, but mostly does things on his own or works with others if helps him with his own needs. This means he uses this new gang for his own use, but why steal the equipment? Now that's a good question and we'll have to look into that. I think I will help you with that one, Felicia said, seeing that their patrol will on clipping some birds' wings off to ground them. So much for showing her boyfriend his surprise, but that can wait. Sounds good. Well, you two do that, I might check at the police department. I have a few friends who can help and answer some questions on these strange silence types, Michelle said, seeing that she could help with this part on her end. Cool, and I will check at the Daily Bugle later to see if anything pops up too, Naruto said, as being a reporter can help on his end and boost his information for his patrols. And definitely will need to get my spitterbits updated, he said, as that will be on his do list, and get his patrol app improved to get the crime faster, as he should have gotten the crime that Vulture and his gang have done. Odd and time to get work. Time skip. Okay, I got to wonder how in the hell does Peter deal with this? Naruto shouted in his mind as he dodged the razor-sharp blades being towards him and in his spider costume, on patrol. Naruto had gotten a lead from the enforcers about hearing rumors of Vulture going to rob some experimental tech from Oscar or even Stark Industries, which caused our spider-themed hero to act and give chase. However, is not going easy and causes Spider-Man to act quickly on his feet, trusting his spider sense and agility to dodge the bird-themed villain attacks. He looked back a bit to see the villain still hot on his tail and sped up his web swing to keep up the pace while thinking of a new attack plan. Behind the bird-themed villain was an old man wearing a high battle armor that was green and black with big bird-like wings on his back and wearing a Vulture-themed mask. Why do I always run into one of the heroes stopping my plans? Vulture asked out loud. I don't know. Maybe it's your luck. Spider-Man said with a shrug as he dodged another blade coming at him. Hold still. Vulture shouted and swung his massive wings at the hero to slice him up, but was slow, and the wall crawler dodged the attack by jumping over his head. How about no, Spider-Man joked before switching his normal webbing for something more kick and can give him an edge on facing the bird-themed villain. Spider-Man then shoots a powerful web line towards Vulture's wings, which web was electric webbing that our hero personnel made to mess the wings to their haywire and slow him down a bit. The wings then started to go out of control, which allowed the wall crawler to jump onto the villain before unleashing a thrashing of punches before pulling out a power core for his rings, shutting them down completely. "My wings. You damn bug." Vulture shouted in pure anger as they fell to street level, but not to their death. "Wrong. And here we go," Spider-Man said before unleashing a web impact onto the villain and using his web lines to capture the villain in a web before slamming him hard to the ground, knocking him out cold. "Whoa. That was something. Glad I made those new webbing last night and predicted Vulture's flight movement from Peter's encounters with the old man. Damn, that was something, but still a good question on my mind. Like, where's a cool, Vulture group of kids and teens he recruited? The last I saw them as they flew away during my battle with their father hen. Something tells me I would figure out more about the bird's plan back at his nest." That's the best way to start, Spider-Man thought before web swings away from the area and back towards the nest, where he could get answers to Vulture's plans on stealing the tech and where his kiddos would hide. To his disappointment, Spider-Man found those kids that Vulture took in were gone in the wind now and had escaped. He frowned and saw that could be a problem in the future. He was for sure going to update his spider bots and drones to have some failsafe just in case. After some rest tonight, he web-swinged back to the apartment. When Spider-Man returned home to the apartment and into his room after checking to make sure he wasn't followed to take off his mask inside, Naruto soon became completely surprised and blushed at the same color as his hair to see Michelle and Felicia have surprised him. Michelle was wearing pure white special underwear from the top, hugging her breasts and bottoms that hugged to show her fine ass behind at times. Felicia wore some of her black cat attire from her mask, black gloves and heels, but wore revealing black fishnet underwear while wearing white clothes to cover her more sensitive areas yet teasing. Naruto was speechless by this and had a feeling that tonight was going to be an interesting yet wild one. "So Naruto, you ready for your treat?" Felicia teased with a smirk while lying on the bed first, and Michelle walked over to Naruto with an extra sway of her hips. Yes, I guess so. Not much say in the manner, huh?" Naruto smirked with a light joke as he saw Michelle gripping the edge of the top part of his suit. "And no PE in time to enjoy the rewards, Naruto," Michelle stated with a passionate tone before capturing the red-haired in a kiss which he gladly returned, and she started removing the top part of the suit. The kiss broke up when Naruto had to pull the top part of the suit to show his good figure build and soon got onto the bed with the lovely pair. Felicia was next to steal a kiss, being more lustful and passionate than Michelle's, but the same equality, and the rest of the clothes would take off into a pile on the floor with the sounds of moaning, flesh hitting each other, and passionate times for the trio. A great special reward for the spider to enjoy. Meanwhile, NYPD. I kept your secret. Stay quiet and agree to help you with your problem. Now I'm asking you for help, a certain cop who dated Peter before dumbing him, Carly Cooper said, talking to her phone about the new Spider-Man showing up and who he be or the villain hiding underneath to escape his sins. You are sure about this? I kept things quiet as you said, and it brought Spider-Man out of hiding to fight Vulture, which stopped and revealed his large criminal operations under New York for some time now. Sooner or later, Spider-Man would figure it out, the captain said, speaking to her friend who knew about her double life and outside the force. Maybe, but I'm counting on he doesn't and have a way to keep him busy while I spy on him, Carly said, having a plan in motion to explode the doctor hiding in a new body and get the picture of him changing into his suit when trouble comes. How? Easy, set him up with a date and watch his every moment. Last night I had a real bad dream. That you left me. Last night I had a real bad dream. That you left me. Yeah, last night I had a real bad dream that you left me, baby. You didn't have a single word to say, you just walked away. You just walked away. Sitting around waiting for the sun. Fall asleep and let the nightmare come. The fog rolls in, it's gonna block the sun. I've got enough hell for everyone. Everyone. I've got enough hell for everyone. Chapter 8 Blind Date, Great Surprise. And the spider luck strikes again, this time it's a blind one, Naruto thought as he found himself on a blind date after a week of his special time with Michelle and Felicia. Naruto wore good casual clothes, wearing a black jacket, orange collar shirt, and blue jeans with matching shoes, and seemed more relaxed on the blind date than most would be. The said date was with a mature young woman, showing to have long, wild-looking reddish-brown hair that looked more like the mane of a lion, with a large streak of her hair being wide around her forehead area. Her eyes were a marvelous emerald color, looking like a pair of jewels, and her pink lips could form a teasing and seductive smile. Her figure was one to envy and lust after, with well-toned muscles that could be noticed all around her figure, long legs with wide hips that showed her large rear too, her waist was thin and also pretty muscular, showing her six-packs, and her chest area was beyond massive, revealing a pair of large and yet soft-looking breasts. Her attire was free and had black leggings with green heels, a good-length green skirt, a black top with long sleeves, a green top, green short gloves, and a short brown jacket. This was Rogue, a member of the X-Men who happens to be on a blind date with Iridide. Naruto is surprised by this, but then remembers from Peter's memories that Rogue does have flight and superhuman abilities, but she can't touch someone as she physically drains them. And can take the said person's abilities, powers and, even memories. He can pity her and would try to make this date a good one, but wonders who set this up on his end. A good question, and the answer was watching him from a van outside the place the pair were taking their date. And said date took place in a club at Rogue's request. Never been in a club, sugar? Rogue asked, looking at her date that got set up to her surprise so soon and wondering what this blind one would be like. As Rogue was down in her romantic department of late. So she started to take some time away from the mansion and talk with people incognito to see how that went. Mainly, she can't want any of those dates to happen. She didn't expect her first blind date would catch this good-looking young man with a Iridide and whisker birthmarks on his face. That made the southern mutant if those whisker marks unreal and would wonder about that later on. Well, a few times, just never one like this to be honest, Naruto admitted with a shrug of his shoulders and kind of felt bad he didn't tell Felicia or Michelle of this blind date, but hopeful they could understand. Iridide hopes very strongly or he's in the doghouse. Or cat's hole in this case. Well, lighten up. It would be fun and let loose, Rogue suggested, going to at least enjoy this blind date as much as she could. I suppose you're right. It would be nice to enjoy a good night for this date, Naruto admitted with a light smirk, getting a light playful punch in the shoulder from his said date who smiled. That's the spirit, sugar. Rogue smirked as she dragged Iridide further into the club and had a lot of fun for her wilder side to show. Unknown to the pair for the time being, some thugs were eyeing that wild southern woman with lustful and not so good intentions, while planning to remove that Asian scum to get their hands on that southern beauty. After some good dancing, we see Naruto and Rogue relaxing at a table while seemingly enjoying themselves with a few drinks of water. Both agree to have no drinks and just enjoy this kind of date, becoming a good blind date so far. Ha! So you made someone's underwear pink. Oh, that's a good prank, Rogue admitted with a good laugh as Naruto told her one of the low-key pranks he had done. Hey, took him a good while to find out. He did admit that pink wasn't his favorite color, but his lucky color, and wore/rare times, Naruto smirked, recalling how he pranked a certain Toad Sage for taking his money a few times. I would admit that was a good one. So what happened to that godfather of yours? Rogue asked out of curiosity. Well, he passed away some time ago, but despite his flaws and a bit of a prevent, he was a good person and had his moments when it counted, Naruto admitted with a smile on his face and pushed that sadness away, well still missed those back in his homeworld, but had hope that anything is possible from what memories of Peter showed him of world travel is a possible thing to do down the line. This surprised Rogue at how Naruto seemed to be full of life and able to push on despite the loss of a family member. She remembers how her adopted mother, one of them, had died to her half-older brother and how long it took for her to heal from that loss. She wishes her other adopted mother could open up like that. I wish I had met you some time ago, Rogue admitted, enjoying her blind date with Naruto and how positive he was. Hey, better late than never, Naruto smirked, making Rogue share that smirk, and both agreed to that. Agree, Rogue said as the pair drank some more water. Then one of the thugs came walking over with a drink in hand, which was bubbling, and something didn't look right. Hey doll, how about you try this kind of drink than that shit that this Asian see you next Tuesday is giving you, the thug smirked as he offered the drink that was spiced with something. Naruto's spider sense was triggered highly by that while a bit upset at that racial insult, and Rogue saw what that asshole was trying to do. Her adoptive mother taught her to see the signs of idiots being idiots and some spice the drink. This seems better than you have, Rogue said, drinking some water and acting as if she saw some other thugs coming in. Oh come on, doll. It's specially made just for you, the thug smirked while his left hand was reaching for a knife to cut that Asian fucker and grab that beauty to play with. No thanks, Rogue shook her head, placing her glass down on the table, and frowned. Don't be stupid, bitch. The thug as he was about to take out his knife but was quickly grabbed and disarmed by Naruto, much to Rogue's surprise. She said no and nice try fuckhead, Naruto frowned before putting the army behind the thug's back before kicking him into his group and making them fall onto each other to cause a dogpile of sorts. Naruto was able to catch the glass that was spice before throwing it at one of the thug's foreheads, causing him to fall over. You Asian scum. Go back to China. A thug shouted, taking a pistol out, but was crashed by Rogue in her right hand and soon left without a problem before being thrown into the other guys to be knocked out. Okay, first off, I am from Japan, super racist there. Second, holy cow, Naruto said, being surprised at seeing Rogue's abilities firsthand rather than memories. Thanks, sugar. You got some moves on your huh? Rogue smirked, knowing he had powers from the quick reflexes, strength, and speed she had just seen. Yeah, so do you, Naruto admitted, noting that both have some good abilities. Damn mutant scum. One of the thugs rushed at them, wearing a certain yellow armband that said foe. This made both Naruto and Rogue give a flat look before sidestepping and sticking their foot out, causing the thug to crash into the table they were using and get some Athenian to look at them. Everyone looked at the pair in question and wondered, stopping the music of the club. Couldn't handle his drink and trip onto himself, Naruto quickly responded, making everyone agree and the music resumed. And by this point, the pair decided to head on out while enjoying a good laugh on how they pretty much humiliated those thugs that belonged to the Friends of Humanity. It was a blast and full of laughter like they watched the best comedy on earth in their opinion. This is why I keep telling everyone that the Friends of Humanity act like cats in a bag and don't know how to get out, Rogue laughed, getting Naruto to laugh at that one. Ha. Oh, that's a good one, and agree. I also thought of them as dogs that are all bark and no bite, Naruto smirked with a laugh and enjoyed this comedy. Rogue giggled on that and the pair calmed down from this comedy. You know, Naruto. Your powers seem pretty quick and reflexes on point, Rogue pointed out. And yours is elegant yet strong I would admit, Naruto admitted, having a feeling that cat was out of the bag. True. So what are your powers if I may ask? Rogue asked as the pair walked away from the club area and into a back alley. Naruto just smirked before placing his web shooters on and shooting a web line to grab the bag he had on standby, which hid the rest of his suit, showing his mask and surprised Rogue. Darn, sugar. I didn't know my blind date would turn out to be the new spider swinging around, Rogue admitted with a smirk would remember this as a good kind of date surprise in her books and brought out her suit from her handbag she had in standby. Same here. I didn't expect my blind date would be with an X-Men, but a good surprise in my books, Naruto admitted as he began to change into the rest of his suit and turn his back to give Rogue space, seeing their date wasn't over. Sometimes they are the best kind of surprise, Rudo, Rogue winked while smirking as she saw a good body figure that Naruto had at the corner of her eye, but kept that control since she couldn't touch. Rudo, huh? That's a new one, Naruto thought, admitting to that one as the pair were fully changed. Rogue now wore an extremely tight bodysuit that proved to be bright yellow in the middle of it, while its sides were light green, wearing a pair of yellow leather gloves and yellow combat boots on her feet, the tightness of her suit showing her figure to extremely new levels of lewd imagination. Finally, we can see that she was also wearing a dark brown leather jacket over her upper side, but keeping it open, and also a green bandana that was tied around her forehead. Luckily, her jacket was the same and had her dress attire placed in the bag for the time being. Spider-Man then webbed his clothes into a ball and soon took Rogue's bag into a web ball to be safe for later in his bag. He plans on making a new suit to have some kind of bag to store his clothes and spare equipment down with his belt and more special equipment. You know, I wonder what's better. Swinging across the city or flying above it? Rogue asked, starting a game to see which is better and keep the date going. I think web swinging is enjoyable to get that feeling of the air, Spider-Man admitted in reply. Well, wanna see sugar, Rogue smirked to test that out and challenge for the pair to do for the next part of their date. Sure. Spider-Man smirked underneath his mask as he began web swinging through the city with Rogue by his side and flying. Then all of a sudden, Spider-Man felt a pinch on his rear and shouted, "Hey." Rogue giggled as she was ahead and flying and in front of the spider when he landed on the wall to stop his web swinging. She wanted to see how tight that suit her date was wearing and got a good reaction it seems. Ought to be careful, sugar. Some ladies like a guy with a fine ass, Rogue smirked to tease before becoming surprised when Naruto Spider-Man webbed her on large webs into a wall across from them. No tag backs, Spider-Man quipped as he jumped away from that wall of the build to the other one where Rogue was webbed on and saw her easily get out as he didn't even trap her, but rather tease her rest in the large web. Do you tie every girl like this on their first date? Kinda bold of you, I like it, Rogue smirked as she got out of the web and rested on the large web that supported her weight like a bed hanging above the ground. No, but you started this, Spider-Man remarked before getting pulled into the web by Rogue, and the pair rolled around in a large web to get some chuckles and giggles it seems. Rogue had held the masked young man close to her, feeling her body against her date's own, and made her smile as she felt something else hardening. She likes to see that reaction from him though, a shame nothing can go far between them. Soon the pair rested on the large web, looking up at the night sky and enjoying the peace to quiet of the night for the next part of their date. It was turning out to be a pretty good blind date filled with surprises and wasn't over it. Rogue looked over at Naruto and wanted to do something, but a part of her told her no and powers could harm him, this one who had been kind, funny, and understanding to her. Let's give it a try, Rogue thought, making up her mind to at least psychical touch Naruto and see how it goes. She knew it would be a bad idea, but a part of her just wanted to enjoy more of this date. Hey, Naruto, you know about my powers, right? Is more than superhuman and flying, Rogue started as she hesitated to remove her gloves. No physical touching, right? Naruto Spider-Man asked, guessing it seemed like but knew of it due to the memories of Peter and the times he came across with the different teams over the years to see their abilities. That and when I touch someone, I drain a good part of their life and memories. The longer I touch someone, they could end up in a coma or worse, Rogue frowned, rubbing her arm for comfort. A blessing and a curse but a rare yet unique power, Naruto Spider-Man admitted before his eyes widened as he saw Rogue removing her right glove to show her bare hand. Yeah, but it's hard sometimes. I miss the ability to touch someone. You know? Rogue asked as she reached up to remove the mask past the mouth area of her date. I don't want you to be uncomfortable, Rogue. You don't have to do this, Naruto said, not wanting to make Rogue uncomfortable and fill her with regret to touch him, but a part of him didn't sense any danger from her. I want to, just close your eyes and be ready, Rogue warned as Naruto did as he was told and soon felt a hand on his cheek to wait for that shocking pain, but something happened. Nothing happened actually, and surprised Rogue completed it. Naruto opened his eyes and saw through the mask's lenses of Rogue's shocked face what just happened. He was surprised by this and thought of what could be the cause of this sudden new immunity to the draining powers. It can't be my fast healing. Wait. Could it be the sun mark? It should be impossible as I haven't been able to use chakra. Could that mean the sun mark's still on me through my soul than the body and followed me to this world? It could be possible and a good one, but how is a good question, Naruto thought, finding a good possible way as to why he was immune to Rogue's powers. I seem to be full of surprises, Naruto mentioned to Rogue, but was cut off and tackled into the large web, being crushed, and soon got his lips captured into a makeout session. Naruto's eyes widened as Rogue was kissing with passion and lust, along with the desire to enjoy this feeling, while adding her tongue to play with others. She was kissing as worthy of a succubus queen, as wasn't wasting even a second to feel more of the redeed below her. It didn't take too long for the masked spider to return the kiss in the same amount and wrapped his arms around the waist to hold her close to give her more comfort. If Felicia and Michelle are not cool with this, I'm so in the cat house, Naruto thought as he kept kissing the southern beauty and only got a few moments of air before capturing the lips again. Nothing behind that and was reasonable to take slow steps. Chapter 9. After the date, Wraith's Pav. When the blind date between Naruto and Rogue was happening, unknown to them they were being watched by someone from afar as they started their date. That said person was a young woman with short midnight black hair, styled into a low cut, arranged to fall more on her right side, pale skin tone, and a pair of deep gray eyes that looked to be almost black. Her figure was an imposing one yet possessing a feminine feeling to it, with long and muscular legs, showing a wide pair of hips with a large rear to them, along with a well-shaped thin waist that showed rock-hard six-packs, a pair of pretty large breasts, and also a pair of pretty muscular arms, yet still holding a thinner look to them. Her attire was black clothing with red clothes, and Asian culture mixed them with a tight combat shirt that had a black coat covered on top, black fingerless gloves, black pants with red sides, and matching heeled boots. While carrying a bag nearby. This was Yuriko Yuri Watanabe, current captain of NYPD and off-duty at this moment to do her spying for Carly, while secretly a masked person at night. Yuri was watching this Naruto Uzumaki due to Carly, suspected him to be the dead Otto or someone taking over Peter's life. She was watching from afar to see this blind date that was set up by the cop, unknown the outcome, and who was picked to go on the date with the red-haired young man. The black-haired woman wonders who Naruto is to act like from his reactions and interactions with this southern woman. She did become surprised and held back a giggle when seeing the pair had easily beaten some thugs acting like idiots. She shook her head and had no idea how those Friends of Humanity hadn't been marked as a terrorist group for their actions of late. Politics and corruption weren't new as it happened in New York, but also in DC, it seems. It could be the case, but anyway. Naruto's reaction and interactions with Rogue are not something even Peter would do or what Otto would do. Carly has given me information and what to expect, but none of them point out anything wrong, and it seems the pair had enjoyed this blind date so far, Yuri thought, seeing no alarm to rise so far and wondering if Carly made a mistake. Yuri was aware of Carly dating Peter and had mixed emotions with Spider-Man when figuring out the two were one and same. Yes, she was able to figure out when doing the tracking down Mincer Negative's operations to go into deep hiding. She had to hide in the shadows to get changed when seeing Naruto and Rogue taking their date to more patrolling. Yuri had a struggle to change into her suit but was able to manage and put her clothes into a bowl in her workout bag. She now one-piece extremely tight light violet bodysuit, showing to have golden stripes on it, similar to those of a tiger, around her shoulders, chest and abdomen, while also having golden ribbons tied around her arms like bandages, hanging from them like multiple tentacles or limbs. The same ribbons can also be seen tied around her feet, while also having a pair of golden knee protectors. Her mask, we can see, covers her entire face, looking to blend in with the suit perfectly, while leaving her hair free from any constraints, with a pair of sharp white lenses for her eyes with golden striped markings around them, adding a more predatory feeling to her piercing glare. Wraith soon followed Spider-Man and Rogue on their patrol or flirting chase, it seems. She watched from afar and soon became surprised to see them kissing very heatedly, blinking behind her mask and sighing. I need to have a life outside work, Wraith thought while decided to leave and go on patrol to see if Demon Ganger the Flame was back in action, thinking of ways to get Naruto's attention. Also, Wraith plans on talking with Carly to put a hold and think clearly about looking into Naruto's life for making some enemies if she doesn't have all of the clues. One can only hope that it would be a good outcome. Time skip. A few days later, we see Naruto taking his punishment from Felicia and Michelle after they find out that his blind date turns out to be with Rogue and a heated kiss. How do they know? Rogue has been texting Naruto quite a lot and staying in touch between the pair. His punishment was to not have ramen for a whole month. It wasn't so bad, Naruto would admit. Back then, yes it was bad, but now seems a bit lighter over time and such. He can survive a month without ramen. Speaking of which, he had been getting some good work before this month was down from his part-time job, patrolling, and working on his equipment. He has made the spider bots more updated, connected to his phone, and a fail-safe to make sure no one can hack into his patrol program. Better safe than sorry, Naruto thought while drawing some designs for a new suit down the line, as he had a feeling that down the line, his current lineup might get damaged behind repair to wear a new one down the line. Of course, Naruto can find Peter's secret storage and hidden locations for spare suits with equipment that might be hidden for some time now. That doesn't like a bad idea and could work. I should also see how the enforcers are doing now. Been a short while or longer since we last talked, perhaps they could help me gather up those little birds of vulture nest roundup, Naruto thought, figuring that Shocker and enforcers might help up on rounding up on that case. Hey Naruto, you got to see this, Michelle said, walking with her phone in hand, and something that popped up that caught her attention to share with the read. Naruto raised an eyebrow and soon saw on Michelle's phone the number of blogs being posted on different social media that seemed to be eyeing the new Spider-Man. He frowned with a thoughtful look and read the information of this blogger. What's up, everyone? The sudden appearance of a new web swinger has brought several questions. The first Spider-Man retired, or is the second Spider-Man the first one? He is like the first one or different? Is he single, hot, amazing, or superior? Well, I am happy to tell everyone that I am on the case and keep a lookout for my new blogs to come out. Stay safe everyone. The first blog said that was posted this morning and showed several pictures between Peter and Naruto, showing any differences or similarities. And several fangirls were rising from their comments it seems. "Can't I take a break from the fan club?" Naruto asked out loud, unsure about that after reading only 5 of them and seeming a bit creeped out if he was being honest. And be helped sometimes. It seems that nutcase for thrills on performance and social media, Screwball is back, Michelle stated as she sat next to Naruto and crossed her arms, a bit annoyed that the purple-haired chick was back in town it seems. Screwball, that could raise some problems, Naruto admitted, as social media is a double-edged sword these days, and from Peter's memories about that crazy stunt performer and social media poster, Screwball was a strange and crazy case to keep an eye on. Indeed. I think you should keep an eye on Screwball when on patrol, Michelle said. It's on the list, Naruto commented, putting that on his list for patrol and such. Also, Felicia has called and told me that she has a few things on her side has to deal with for the heads up, Michelle informed Naruto from the phone call earlier. Really? What kind? Naruto asked, being concerned for one of his girls. Michelle shrugged her shoulders and said, she didn't say. I was wondering if you check it out on your end after finishing your new reporting pictures of course. Naruto sighed and said, of course. No lazy. Wasn't the plan. But still no ramen. Why? Oh boy, this was going to be interesting for our spider shinobi, and some interesting events are getting set up along the way. After some patrol and spending time with Felicia and Michelle too now, his punishment was over, we see Naruto in his Spider-Man attire and web swinging to get a good workout. He had checked on the new enforcers for a few cases and if they had seen some of Vulture's birds. They have captured the rogue birds, but found something odd with one of them wearing some goblin getup. That raised some eyebrows for the spider-themed hero and did get an alarm of someone trying to hack into his spider bots, but they got a meme that has a cartoon saying, "Ah, ah, ah. You didn't say the magic word." Several times. I will keep an eye on that and glad I put that trapdoor system on my patrol app. And took me a while to rewire the program back up again, Naruto thought as he swung across from building to building and checked if any more crime was in progress, but seemed like a slow patrol day. Also, Spider-Man, Naruto, has been getting this weird feeling that someone or two has been watching for the past couple of days, ever since he met Rogue. Nothing wrong, just an odd feeling and sense that something was going to happen down the line. Hopefully nothing towards the Southern Belle Beauty. Like how he felt towards Felicia and Michelle, Naruto had those feelings towards Rogue as well and enjoyed spending time with her as they are similar to one another. They had traded numbers and stayed in touch to even hang out for some patrols together. Yeah, my life coming along great when coming here. Not only do I have a job, well 2 jobs with crime fighting and taking good pictures for Robbie. I also have girlfriends, he, never thought of that but glad for that, Naruto thought with a smile underneath his mask and landed on the side of a building to stick for a bit. The young man was happy to have met Michelle, Felicia and Rogue, but also got to know Mary Jane. Some guilt was there for getting to know that red-haired beauty due to Peter's memories, and their history was very deep. Especially how Peter felt for MJ, and a few memories were faded of what happened, but the Redeed saw them and caused some hurt. Giving up your marriage is one thing but to lose your child, your daughter. I am sorry Peter, MJ. That's another thing I hate about Norman the Green Goblin. Though there's some pity towards the man who was driven into madness by his goblin personal, I can't allow my rage to consume and into vengeance. I ain't no Batman, Naruto thought as a light joke on that last part to get a good chuckle as he climbed on the walls and landed on the rooftop to see the city to a good sunset coming down. The Redeed web swinger had been reading some comics out of curiosity. He was interested in Batman comics because they resembled a shinobi in a way. Heck, that made him wonder if the Moon Knight took inspiration from the Dark Knight. He will ask the Knight that one day. Naruto cupped his chin in thought, hanging upside down before jumping off the web swing to find some hidden storage locations around the city. Peter had 3 of them, which gave him ideas for his current suit and a new one. Then all of a sudden, his phone rang and Naruto brought it out to see if he was getting a message from Rogue. He read the text message and raised an eyebrow through his mask. The message read about wanting to talk and even got a location to meet up at to his surprise, seeing how that said location was one of Felicia's hideouts. I guess I could swing on by and see what Rogue wants to talk about, a pause on patrol never hurt. Plus, the spider bots are still active and can warn me of a new crime in progress, Naruto thought before starting to web swing towards the location where Rogue was currently. After making sure he wasn't followed and entered the hideout, which was a nice place. Not a penthouse but close to normal and top for living in the apartment. He was also surprised to find Rogue waiting for him but wearing something very revealing which caused a blush to form up to even through his mask. The Southern beauty was wearing a sexy green lingerie with the top hugged her breasts and underwear tightly to show her cheeks for the right position. And she was lying down on the bed waiting for the spider to come. Are you falling for my Rogue charms, sugar? Rogue asked with a smirk. I just might, or that's just my luck, Naruto admitted in reply as he understood what was going on and removed his mask. Well, wanna see which one it is? Rogue asked with a surly yet teasing smirk and using her right finger to signal the Redeed to join her in bed. Yes, Naruto agreed as the rest of his suit was removed and joined the bed to crash lips with Rogue, starting a heated makeout session and moaning escape from their heated kiss. It didn't take long for the pair to lose themselves in the time of their passionate and lustful making, as Rogue had desired it for a long time to finally get it with someone who she could finally touch. And a lot more than touches, the sounds of moaning, groaning, flesh hitting flesh, deep kissing, and names being called between the pair. What if Naruto X Silver Sable harem? End here and thanks for watching my video till the end.